Hello. So it's Wednesday afternoon, June 24th. And here we are now, more than 4 months through our pandemic time. And I've posted many different little short reflections to, I hope, help some folks get through this strange time we're living through. This week I thought I might talk about anxiety because indeed many of us must be feeling quite anxious. And I may have done this earlier, but you know what? I think we cannot speak too much about our faith and how it can get us through these troubling times. Jesus told his disciples and told us to not worry about tomorrow. Why do we let these worries take us on, worrying about tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow? Where is my food going to come? Where's my shelter going to come? The basic needs he was talking about. He points out that God pays attention to every little sparrow and every flower in the field, and we are much more valuable in those simple parts of creation. So we're told not to worry. You got enough worries for the day. Maybe there's the secret on this process as we go through this collectively, that we have more than enough things to worry about for today than to worry about tomorrow or the next day or next week or next month. Will we get this virus? Will the economy recover? Will our friends get this virus? Will we lose loved ones? Will we lose friends? There's more than enough to worry about. But what about today? This moment? This very moment. What is there to worry about? Where I'm standing, I'm looking out my office window and the sun's beaming through. There's beautiful purple flowers waving in the gentle breeze. We live in a beautiful place, a beautiful world. And could we not just focus on that beauty and with gratitude of what we have? And not fuss and worry about what will be and what won't be. There's many things we have no control over. We can't change it. It's there. It's just the way it's going to be. There are things we do have control over, things we can prepare for. And saying not to worry about the future doesn't mean don't prepare. It means prepare and let it go. Let it go. Let it go of the worry, because there's things beyond your control. You cannot control whether it'll be cloudy or rainy tomorrow. You cannot control the weather. You cannot control who's driving on the freeway and how backed up the traffic is. You cannot control the price of gasoline. So many things are in our world outside of our control. You cannot control whom you love, because love comes upon you and you love. You cannot control who will be all in your world. You cannot control other people's feelings, other people's anxieties. Only what is yours is within your control, within your choice. So Jesus says quite simply, stop worrying about tomorrow. Worry about today. Take care of today. Tomorrow's worries will be there when you get there. Today, limited worries, right? Where it's what's for dinner tonight? Do you have enough groceries? Roof over your head? And of course there are those in our world who don't have those things, and that worry for this very day is big. But you likely have those things, those blessings. So I know that many times anxiety and fear are not something doesn't feel like something we can control, because it's bubbles up inside of it. It's coming from outside of us, it seems. It's outside our control. How can we stop the way we feel? I'm not suggesting you try to. What I am suggesting, though, or I would like to suggest a process, is when you feel anxious, when you feel worried, it's just to pause. Take some breaths. Breathe through it. A deep breath. A deep exhale. A deep inhale. Pause in between. You'll find if you do this, it'll relax your body And as your body relaxes, so will your mind, so will your soul. And then, if you got a bunch of things you're worrying about, do one. Just do one. One thing. And then, when you're ready, do one more thing. And as each thing's done to the best that you can, because you can't do it perfectly, you release it. And tell yourself, I release it. I give it into the world. I give it to God. Those things you can't control, you'd have no control over, give them to God ahead of time. I can't control whether or not my friends will get sick. I release them into God's care, into God's love, and I just hold on for the next step, next piece of the journey. Jesus said, listen, instead of carrying this heavy burden that you're dragging around, this heavy burden of anxiety and fear, I want you to set it down and take up instead the burden I have. Take up my yoke, and we'll walk in this yoke together, bound together with Jesus, bound together with Christ, and we'll find strength carrying and leaning on it with the living Christ. And that burden won't be so heavy because we won't be carrying it alone. And it won't be so heavy because the truth we find in knowing Christ within our lives is that we only need to take on the burdens that belong to us, not the burdens that belong to the whole world and everybody else. So let us walk with Jesus, walk with the living Christ, and know that we are beloved, that we are not alone in this marvelous, sunshiny or rainy world. Amen.